New information to tell you about in the Russia investigation, with word the special counsel just sent a wide-ranging request for documents from the Justice Department, as Robert Mueller's team is set to interview several more senior White House staffers amid reports the president's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, is under increased scrutiny over, among other things, that Trump Tower meeting with Russian operatives last June. Joining us now is Aaron Blake, senior politics reporter at The Washington Post. Thank you very much, Aaron. The administration maintains Mueller still hasn't turned up anything to prove collusion between the Trump campaign and the Russians. Mueller still, though, is digging into whether President Trump or any other administration official improperly tried to influence an ongoing investigation. Is this just more fishing by the special counsel?
Well, the fact that we don't know that this has actually led to a concrete conclusion isn't all that surprising. You generally won't get to that point until the investigation is over. It does seem to be getting to what would seem to be the final stages here, with the special counsel's office interviewing a couple people in particular, Hope Hicks, the communications director, and Don McGahn, the White House counsel, who have been involved in a lot of the things that the special counsel is apparently investigating. The fact that we're also seeing now that the special counsel is subpoenaing documents from the Justice Department, possibly relating to obstruction of justice investigation, also leads me to believe this is really kind of wrapping up here. We'll have to see, of course, since we don't really know anything for certain in this investigation, but it does seem to be coming to a little bit of a head right now. Yeah, and it's far from over, although some might think that Mueller is ending his inquiries, but I believe it's just the beginning. Attorney General Jeff Sessions, Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein, they both played key roles in Comey's removal. What do you think Robert Mueller is expecting to find in these emails that he's seeking related to the firing of FBI Director James Comey? Right. Well, anytime you talk about obstruction of justice, the key element there is that you need to find what's called a corrupt intent. Basically, it can't just be that the president decided to fire the guy who was investigating him, and this guy also happened to be, heading up that investigation. It also needs to, there needs to be evidence, rather, that the president did this expressly for the purposes of obstructing justice. We've, of course, had the president and his public comments in that NBC News interview, him talking about how when he fired Comey, right, he was thinking about the Russia investigation. But I don't think it's explicit enough in those comments that that was 100% the reason that he fired Comey. Mueller is particularly interested in emails pertaining to Jeff Sessions, to recusing himself. And as we know, President Trump has publicly criticized him, chastised him for doing so. What more do you think we're going to learn and that's going to come out of his recusal and how it affected the president? Yeah, that's the part of this that's a little bit harder to read. That doesn't necessarily go to questions of obstruction of justice. Perhaps it goes to questions about potential collusion. Why did Jeff Sessions feel the need to recuse himself from this case? He said that he was examining that issue for several weeks before his contacts with the Russian ambassador became news. I guess the special counsel maybe wants to find out if that's exactly what he decided, if he actually had been looking at this for some time before he recused himself. That's about the only thing that makes sense as far as I'm concerned. So last week was interesting because Senate and House Democrats, as we all watched, hammered Sessions for previously telling Congress under oath that no Trump campaign associates ever communicated with Russian operatives or intermediaries. Some Democrats accused Sessions of deliberately lying to lawmakers, which Sessions denies, basically saying that he didn't remember amidst all the chaos of the campaign. Does Sessions face possible charges next? It's difficult to say. We don't know anything like that. We don't have any indications that this investigation is going after him. It's clear that his responses to questions about contacts with Russians have evolved over the course of the year. He seemed to offer a pretty blanket denial from the beginning. He later explained that he was speaking about contacts in a campaign context. So we've basically seen a bunch of revisions to his initial comments as he's been grilled at these hearings. But we don't know if he's actually the focus of investigators or if he's just a piece of a larger puzzle.
Okay, the hammering there, we apologize. They're doing some construction. We're going to have a beautiful brand new studio newsroom coming up, so that's what's happening upstairs. But Aaron Blake, thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Thank you.